Yo, what's up? This is B-Hop. I'd like to say what's up, man. E-Thriller, the Black Picasso. What's going on? This is the champ, the Hall of Famer. Respect, the undisputed. Yeah.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
The Black Picasso cleaning up the sport of boxing, speaking facts over the gossip. Haters all up in the comments. I ain't here to be liked, but smash that like and noti button. We don't sugarcoat nothing, just healthy boxing discussions. E-Thriller, painting these pictures oh so vivid. Applying Duke, Coach K, that straight full court pressure. Only God could judge me, so tell these chumps ducking smoke. Remember one thing that the boxing guys don't like: ugly. Shut out Big Fish and everybody that joins the panel. For all my new supporters, sub to the channel. Like Floyd say, it's easy work. That bait jab with that left hook send them straight to sleep. Experts, we the experts. We never sugarcoat. Tune in to Black Picasso. Sit back, enjoy the show. Enjoy the show.
Now, before I get into what I'm about to get into, I just want to make sure that each and every last one of y'all hit that like or dislike button. Don't forget to put some motherfucking Coach K Duke full court pressure on that sub button if you're new to the channel. And please be sure to ring that noti bell so you can be notified via email each and every time your boy E-Thriller, aka Hamrothstein, aka the Black Picasso, because I paint these pictures so vividly with my words on the sport of boxing whenever I feel like it. And once again, fight fans, ladies and gentlemen in the Wolf Pack, welcome back. Now, first things first, man, let's just get this shit started, man. Without further ado, it is an honor and a privilege to welcome my special guest on tonight with us with the Wolf Pack. This is my boy Blair, the Flair Cobbs, aka Mr. Smoke, aka Business Blair is what I love to call him. Welcome back. How are you, kind sir?
All is well. All is well. All is well.
Hey, man,
baby.
You're looking good, man. Look like you're in tip-top shape. Every time I see you on IG, you in the gym getting it in, hitting the heavy bag, hitting the mitts and shit, uploading quotables and all that. How are you, my brother?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Getting ready, get my body prepared for, whatever.
Oh, damn, Blair. I think I lost you for a second, my brother. There you go.
Yeah, somebody called me. I'm let me just put my phone on.
Yeah, go ahead. Sure.
On I don't know.
And while you're doing that, man, shout out to everybody in the chat. Drop a comment, hit that like button on your way in. Pretty please.
Absolutely. All right, cool. We good.
All right, bet. So speaking of the future, man, now I'm sure you heard the news because I'm gonna play a video of what you said last week. You made a video, and as soon as I saw it on IG, you already know how I play. I like to hit you up on the hip, like, hey man, I got to get you on record of saying this on the show. Can you come on? You always show me love. You say, yeah, let's set it up. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this clip for the people in the chat that may have not seen it yet. And I'm gonna let you break this shit down in depth.
The funny thing about rhabdomyolysis, right? And when it comes to performance enhancement drugs, is that the moment you get rhabdomyolysis from performance enhancement drugs, the moment you do it again, moment you try to take those drugs again, it comes back almost immediately. Just a thought. But that's none of my business.
Now, when you speak of this, now for those of you in the chat in the Wolf Pack, shout out to the ladies and gentlemen in the chat. That was Blair, Business Blair, as I love to call him, speaking on this rhabdomyolysis situation, because we all know that Virgil Ortiz just had that flare up yet again. He was scheduled to go up against, I believe, Stanionis on April the 29th in Arlington, Texas, but for whatever reason, he had another health issue that had to postpone the fight. That was Business Blair reaction to it. So Business Blair, can you break down to the people what you mean about that? Because I'm gonna be honest, bro, I'd never even heard of this condition before.
Well, I mean, for the record, I'm not insinuating that the boy is on steroids and all of that stuff. Right. But like, it wouldn't hurt to be skeptical, and the only reason why is because of that. And I'm not saying that he's a dirty fighter. I'm pretty sure that he's a clean fighter. But it'll be great to see some proof, at least for the fans. Not like this ain't got nothing to do with me in general. Me personally, like even in that particular situation when I was speaking about rhabdomyolysis, that is general information that I'm giving you guys, the fans. It has nothing to do with Virgil, and it's not really directed at Virgil, but it is something that is serious. It's incredibly rare for a professional fighter to have such a disease, and the reason why is because we train all the time.
Right.
We train all the time. It's when I say it's incredibly rare, you never heard anybody having it.
Yeah, I've never. That's what I stated earlier, bro. I've never heard of it before.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of somebody having it,
Okay.
and the people that I do know, that were having it and stuff like that, they happen to be on performance enhancement drugs to like kind of get like a nice little bulk and stuff. They're not athletes.
Yeah.
They're not doing it professional. So what ends up happening, they might end up overtraining and overworking their bodies. And because like of and mind you, this is not, I'm not speaking on Virgil Ortiz and his situation. I wish nothing but the best for him. I hope that he gets up, he gets back into a speedy recovery. I hope that like after all of this nonsense is done, that he can like clear his name. But the whole situation with this, I'm just giving you information on what that is.
Right.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
the information on what rhabdomyolysis is, it's an incredibly dangerous disease that kills. It hurts the kidneys. It attacks the body in like such a dramatic fashion, and it only happens when like your body is being overworked to such a degree. Now the thing is, me and along with many other professional athletes, we train our bodies consistently. We pushing our bodies to its full potential consistently to such a degree that like it's incredibly hard to end up in that particular situation. It's just incredibly difficult. It's incredibly dangerous and incredibly difficult to like even get to that level. I mean, in that case, then maybe old boy is training harder than every single fighter that's ever existed in existence. You talking about Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard. You talking about George Foreman.
Tommy
You talking about
Hearns.
Muhammad Ali fighting Joe Frazier. You know how like Joe Frazier and Ali had to go through near death experiences fighting each other, and still we have not talked about, oh yeah, they had to flush his kidneys out because they had rhabdomyolysis. That's just a very interesting situation, and to have it come up again. No, mind you, I can give you guys a little bit of information. A very, very close relative of mine have gotten rhabdomyolysis. Very close relative have gotten rhabdomyolysis, and he came out about what happened. I'm like, what happened? He's like, well, like I was doing this and I was doing that, and this is what happened. I was overtraining and I was very unprofessional, and I was using this. Okay. All right. And then I'm like, hold up. I'm like, so what happened? What happened? Whatever with that. He's like, oh, well, actually I had it twice. I'm like, really? You had it twice? Yeah. Like it came back quick. It came back quick. It's known amongst the heavy weightlifters.
Yeah.
You know those big weightlifters, bodybuilders. Like rhabdomyolysis is usually a death sentence for anybody that's a bodybuilder, and the reason why is because whatever they were taking, they can't take it anymore because like that particular,
it triggers it or something like that.
It triggers it a lot faster, and it's incredibly dangerous. It's an incredibly dangerous situation when you have something like that, because your body starts to kill itself when you overtrain your body to that level. That's what I know about rhabdomyolysis. And the thing is, most people don't know anything about rhabdomyolysis. So like, that's just some general information for you guys to take it as you please and as you will. But and like it, originally, now this is before I had did a retraction statement and the whole old Kit and Caboodle and all that stuff.
Yeah, I
But
remember
like
that. Yep.
let me tell you something. Like originally,
Mhm.
I had maybe jumped the gun a little bit, or maybe said a few things.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But that was all based upon the fact that, like, see, most people don't know what rhabdomyolysis is.
Right.
And I'm sitting here like, what the heck is that?
Mhm.
Everybody, if it ain't just you, it's me and everybody else is
Right.
sitting here wondering what the hell is that? Like, how is
Right.
that even
Right.
possible? You
Right.
know what I mean? Like, come on, everybody's been like,
Mhm.
like it's not this couldn't be a weight thing, because a lot of people have gone to like incredible extents to make
Mhm.
weight.
Extreme
You know what I
measures to
mean?
make weight. Right.
Yeah, and like
Right.
if that's the case, then I need to see. You know who should be having that issue?
Who that?
Devin Haney. Devin
Devin
Haney.
Haney, yeah, it was. Hey, yo, that's a hell of a point because in his last fight against Cambosis, everybody said he looked sick at
Yeah,
the
man,
weigh-in,
like
and I agree. Like his
yeah.
face was sunken in, so hell of
Well,
a point. Keep
that
cooking. My bad.
happened.
Go ahead.
That happened to me when I was trying to make 140.
Mm,
I looked sunken in,
mm.
dried out, looked like I was half dead. And
How
then,
do you
and
feel like as a fighter? Because I would never know. I'm a dude that used to hoop, coming up and stuff like that, play football here and now, but I've never had to cut weight. You understand what I'm saying? To do a particular profession. So, like, as a fighter, does it make you angry? Does it, like, what is your temperament heading into like the weigh-in, so to speak, whenever you know that you're weight drained?
like I only had to like kill myself making weight one time.
Mhm.
Like and that was to make 140, the first fight for Golden Boy Promotions. And I ended up getting a draw. It was an incredibly bad performance
Mhm.
that kind of like gave me the like really when you look at it, it
Mhm.
kind of gave me the opportunity to take out these guys. I
Right.
mean, they would have never gave me Karubian if they knew I was going to smoke Karubian, and they never would have gave me all these other fighters if they knew
Mhm.
I was going to smoke them.
Right.
Everybody thought I was going to lose almost every fight, even the last fight
Maurice Hooker.
Maurice
Yep.
Hooker. Like,
Yeah, everybody counted you out
if
heading into that
if
fight.
knew
That's a fact.
if people knew that I was like really that dude, I wouldn't be getting these fights. You know what I'm saying? It was like it was kind of like a heaven sent situation.
Mm.
Every time you take these L's, or you get a draw or something like that, sometimes God is just placing you in the right place. But yeah, when you're facing up against the idea of making weight, it's tough. It's
Right.
a it's a very incredibly tough situation. Luckily for me, I take my time cutting weight, and I have a system where I'm able to navigate.
Mhm.
But everybody has a hard time. And like that last day or so is pretty tough. But nobody's trying to make weight and trying to kill themselves a month or two out. So that's just,
Mm.
you can take that for whatever you want to take it as. You know what I
Right.
mean? But like coming towards the fight, you know what I mean? And then like guess what? Now you're getting close to like 2 weeks before the fight, a week
Mhm.
before the fight, you start cutting the weight and all that stuff. And then let's say like the day before, yeah, you're fucking weight drained. The fact that you probably haven't eaten much for quite some time, and
Yeah.
or drink water, which is even worse,
Wow, I can only
for quite
imagine.
some time. It's
Right.
it's a you end up facing some of your greatest challenges, but like on the other side of that challenge is a victory, and sometimes the victory, making that weight
Mhm.
and coming back and eating food and all that stuff, it has a very special spiritual awakening,
Mhm.
if that's what you if I could say it, because like check this out.
Right.
Every religion speaks about how they have to go on a fast.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, we fast for fights to purify ourselves and be
Mhm.
ready for an actual fight. But
Okay.
like the amazing thing about boxing is that boxing is literally like you watching a full life picture
Mhm.
before your eyes. That person has to like die and rise again and come back out of the ashes and do it all over.
Mhm.
So like that's what made people fall in love with boxing in the first place. It's all about the drama and the action. And
Mhm.
I feel like it's very unfortunate in today's world where like there's a lot of fighters that are applaud completely without and applaud and given high rankage in everything. Everything
Celebrated.
just laid heavily celebrated
Yep.
without facing any kind of adversity.
That's a fact.
Without facing any real like real fights.
Mhm.
And the thing is, even the fights where like it could have been a challenging fight,
Yeah.
but it wasn't because of like circumstances. Like no, like let's see what happens when the circumstances are the same.
Mhm.
Because a lot of time people like circumstantial wins aren't necessarily good wins. They actually losses because then they put you in a position where you think that you're good when you're really not. You know, you
So
think
not to
you've
cut
been
you off,
tested,
Blair,
but you never been tested.
let me make sure I'm following you, not to veer off topic or whatever. But for example, Tank versus Ryan. Now, I'm not sure if you've been keeping up with they hold a little back and forth over the last couple of weeks or so. But, you know, Tank put a rehydration clause. They fighting at the catch weight at 136. Is that something that you're alluding to with that statement? Or am I kind of off?
Nah, I like honestly, I haven't even been following the whole Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis
Yeah.
fights,
Yeah.
honestly. Cause like and the reason why is because I'm sitting here trying to figure out a way to do something with me. You know what I mean? Do
Yeah.
something with do it like yo, cause I'm like, okay, that's great. But like I think like honestly, Adrian Broner Blair the Flair fight would probably sell more. You know what I mean? There would be a whole lot more buzz, a whole lot more action. And not to mention you got Don King in the midst of it. That's doing his last hurrah. And a whole lot more money being made. Honestly, that's what I see. But that's not neither here nor there. I just think that that fight is gonna be incredible.
Yeah.
And it's about time they make something like that happen.
Yeah.
And
Ooh,
I hope
we need, as a fan of the sport of boxing, a boxing connoisseur, we needed this fight, bro. Even though it's not the fight that I really want at 135, it'll do.
yeah, like honestly, like, and it's like dudes don't even like make their own weight anymore. They don't even do shit. Like it's like what the hell? They just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting.
Yeah.
Like, why is everybody waiting to like
Build
to
up a
not?
fight.
Yeah, like you know what? Everybody could have got the smoke from Lomachenko, but now y'all just playing.
Yeah.
Remember when Lomachenko was the king of the throne?
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people didn't want to fight him. The only one I can really remember as far as my brain is Devin Haney was calling him out. And
Devin
of course,
Haney.
Teofimo wanted to smoke. But those are the
Teo-
only two that I can remember off the top of my
Yeah,
head.
Teofimo gets a nice little circumstantial gain with Lomachenko and then get cursed because he do the same thing that Lomo did, which is like not put a rematch clause in effect and all that stuff. Man, you could have just went back to him.
Who you talking about?
Run it.
Teofimo and
Yeah,
Lomo?
he could have just ran it back.
Yeah.
And not be a coward about it. You know what I
I
mean?
do you one better. Instead of fighting George Kambosos, he could have went for undisputed against Devin Haney. I didn't like that move because he was walking around saying he was already undisputed. And it's like, bruh, how are you undisputed when you got the franchise belt and Devin Haney has the real belt? Yeah. So that's where I kind of veered away from Teofimo Lopez.
Well, the whole thing with that whole situation is that technically he was the undisputed. Because like that like when they made the franchise belt, they just threw the other championship belt to whoever would.
Yeah, they emailed it. Well, you know, a lot of fans say they emailed it to
they just gave the belt away and it was basically to whoever would pay the most. So who would pay the most? Devin Haney's folks, obviously. You know what I'm saying? It was a great strategy to put them in a position to fight these big mega fights and be a demand. You know, and shit, man, I tip my hat off to them because they're not just out there, you know, talking it, but they're walking it. Yeah. You know.
So let's get back to you, Blair, because even though the situation between Virgil Ortiz and Stanionis is very unfortunate for Virgil, God bless him, but this is the perfect opportunity for you to insert yourself into his position and try to get that fight with Stanionis. So won't you let the people know in the chat, like, hey, man, do you want that fight or do you want an Adrian Broner? What fight just got you licking your chops the most? Is it a fight with Stanionis? Is it a fight with AB? Is it a fight with possibly Keith Thurman? We know Alexis Rocha is off the table because I think he's about to fight some other guy. So that kind of
They
opens
should
up
they
things.
should really take that shit off.
What you mean?
And they should, like the Alexis Rocha and Juice Young.
Yeah, what's up
Stop
with that?
playing, playing, and fight me. Rematch.
So you want that
Boom.
rematch?
The rematch will sell. It's not like it won't sell. Matter of fact, it'll sell a whole lot more than a fucking fight with Juice Young. But it's not about money with them. It's about making sure that I don't win.
When you say with them, Blair, who are you speaking to? Are you speaking to your promoter, or is it about the
I'm talking about the promoter. The promotion.
Oh, wow. Golden
promotion. Boy? Yeah, hell yeah. The promotion is just, like they have their investments on certain fighters.
Okay.
And like regardless of how well you do, how amazing you are, things happen. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo. And like there's so much easily to build up that fight. Oh yeah, well, what happened in the last fight? Okay, it was after a week notice. Oh, but he looked good after a week notice. A week notice, and he still looked good like that. I wonder what happens if he actually has a full training camp and was actually promoted. We sold out the arena with a 1 week notice fight. You can't say that Blair and Flair don't sell.
Right.
Ever.
Good point.
Am I not worth the money that I'm asking for, Golden Boy?
Do you think that's the case? Do you think it's a case of money that like maybe you're demanding more money than what they're willing to give you at the moment? Or do you just think they're just politicking like with Alexis Rocha and Virgil Ortiz and you're kind of on the back burner, so to speak?
It's probably one of those things. I don't know. I just think that boxing needs to do better. Promoters need to do better. And in the end, right? At the end of the day, the people that are hurt is not just me, the people's champion. It's the people. It's the fans that you're hurting. Trying to force a fucking champion to be a champion based off of whatever politics that you have going on. You end up hurting. You end up hurting the people that you're supposed to be invested in. You're supposed to be invested in putting on big fights and big action, packed performances. You want the underdog to be not just the underdog, but a great contender that possibly can do something amazing. People are rooting for the underdog more than you think. You know what I mean? There's nothing better than an underdog, and there's nothing amazing than an underdog winning. You know what I mean?
Just to piggyback off of your point, Blair, not to cut you off, fam, but Alexis Rocha is number 1 in the WBO rankings, right? But I see you here, you number 6. So, and then both of y'all are with Golden Boy. So to me, that fight makes sense. It makes all the sense in the world for them to make that fight instead of making this other fight.
You said a WBO?
Yeah, with the WBO, I have the rankings pulled up right here. You are ranked number 6 in the WBO, and Alexis Rocha is currently at number 1 because he's the mandatory for Terrence Crawford.
Oh, that's dope.
So yeah, I mean that would make even more sense for Oscar to say, "Hey, why not we can promote this fight as the rematch? If Blair wins, it's a win-win. Then you would get your opportunity."
And then I'll smoke Crawford.
Okay,
you know what I mean. And then like we can go ahead and make boxing great again after that. That's what I mean. Then Blair Flair runs the show because my name will be higher and bigger than Earl Spence fucking running around ass. But yeah, so.
Don't even get me started on Earl Spence. I'm just saying. Don't even get me started. We don't even know where he is right now. Where is Earl? When is the last time he did an interview with Brian Custard? When is that interview coming out? Man, Earl Spence?
Man, I feel like
fucking wait.
The scariest thing for fighters, and the craziest part about me is that people, and that's just human. But like people in general, and especially in the boxing world, in the boxing world, the promoters, the matchmakers, the fighters, the trainers, everybody is scared, so scared of this. They scared of a coin toss. Hell yeah, they scared. Hell
The
yeah, they
fights that the
scared.
fight fans are willing to pay for if you give them to us, but instead you make us settle for these bottom of the barrel fights or these lopsided matchups where we already know the outcome heading into the fight, which is why I'm on record of saying I'm not paying for this Ryan versus Tank fight. I'm sorry because I know Tank is gonna sleep him. I know.
I mean, Tank is definitely like if you were looking at it on the odds, the odds would probably favor Tank. Why? Because Tank is consistently challenged. He's consistently fighting, and
experience.
and he's consistently experienced, and he has a lot of weapons. He has a lot of weapons.
Yeah,
you know. So like it's just one of those things. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's how it usually is. It's like I wonder if Tank would be so quick to make that fight if it was the other way around.
What do you mean? Like if it was who? If it was what, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson? Where are you going with this, Blair? Because I've been saying what you're trying to say. And I get hated on for it, but I don't give a fuck. I'm a truth teller. I'm not in the business of telling fight fans what they want to hear. I tell them what they need to hear. Tank, the only reason why this fight is happening between Gervonta Tank Davis and a Ryan Kardashian, Garcia, the fucking TikToker, is because they know he's going to win. It's not a 50-50. He is no threat. Mayweather told us this months ago. Leonard Ellaby throws this in our face day after day that Ryan is not on Tank's level. They know this.
No, not right now. Not right now. But Ryan is still an amazing fighter and very dangerous. Very dangerous. You know, so I would love to see what happened. I'm still hoping and wishing that like possibly there's an upset. You know what I mean?
Yes,
possibly
that'll be great.
Possibly there's some drama that happens. But yeah, let's just put it like this. These jokers are scared. They're scared. Like once really claim his title at lightweight.
Right.
Against the actual undisputed fighter.
Devin Haney.
Devin Haney.
And I think, and listen, correct me if I'm wrong. We can agree to disagree all day. If I think Devin Haney is willing to make that fight, I think it's the PBC and Gervonta Tank Davis, I ain't never asked for no big fights on $1 million worth of game. Shout out to Gilly and Wallow. Make sure y'all go sub up to them, right? So I'm more inclined to lean towards Haney. Like he really want that smoke, but I'm kind of looking at Tank like, look, bro, you done showed me your hand. To that you say what, Blair?
Yo, look, I know Devin. I know Devin personally, and like Devin's a good dude. You know what I mean? I'm talking to him, and we had our own drama, honestly.
I didn't know you and Devin had smoke. What you in the dream? What did you and the champ have smoke about, Blair? It seems like you got smoke with everybody. I'm gonna be honest, business, Blair.
Bro. Cause like I come out of nowhere and I do some amazing things. That's just because I'm an out of nowhere dude. You know what I mean? Where's this guy coming from? How he ain't supposed to be that good, this and that. And we had a couple words or whatever, you know. But the whole thing is like at the end of the day, me and him is actually cool.
Okay,
you know
so y'all cool now. Okay.
Yeah. I'm
gonna have to do my research, Blair, unless you want to just share with the people in the Woodpack because maybe I'm tripping, I'm lost in the sauce. What did you say that pissed him off, or was it something that he said?
Nah, it's just competitiveness, honestly.
Okay.
It's just competitiveness. It's just the competitiveness. Yeah, it's just the competitiveness of just wanting to be the best. Flair believes he's the best. And then Devin Haney has a whole entourage and is trying to propel this idea that he's the best. But guess what? Flair is still here. So, you know what I mean? And like if Flair shows up and is around, then there's a problem because Flair believes he's the best. And it's not going and can't shut up about him. And I can't shut up about it. Like, you know what I mean?
Hey, I feel you, bro. I'm the same way, bro. My confidence is through the roof, and anything that I do, I feel like I'm the best. And as a man, you should always feel like you're better than the next man. That's just me personally.
Like, I don't know. It's not
why you get hated on a lot.
I love, like, I'm a true believer and a true lover of God. And I go through a lot of trials and tribulations, but like when I come out the other side, I'm unstoppable. And like the thing is, like I haven't seen the measure of a man in a lot of people in boxing. Yeah. You know what I mean? And as far as Devin Haney is concerned, I'm actually a fan now. We are actually fans of each other on a certain level. Okay. And I'm just very proud. of like how far he came. I'm
Yeah.
very proud of his father, like being so involved in his life. I mean, hell,
Shout out to Bill Haney. Shout out to Bill.
if everybody had a Bill Haney in their life, like everybody would be probably champion on some level. You know what I mean? On some level. It's great to see that. It's great to see that in action. It's great to see something like that happen. You know, but yeah, like
you got a big fight
check
coming
this
up,
out.
man.
If Devin Haney has his own promotion, I'm a free agent. Like, like why not join forces? Like,
so
like,
you will be willing to join Devin Haney Promotions to be under Bill Haney and
like, yeah, I love what they're doing. If they do the same thing with me, I don't see how I can not win. Like, it's just great. It's great. You know what I mean?
Not to cut you off, Blair, let me ask you this. I just want to get a better understanding. So are you on a fight by fight case basis with Golden Boy, or are you a free agent at the moment?
I'm a free agent at the moment.
Oh, okay.
I'm a free agent at the moment.
Okay.
I'm in the midst of a bidding war. And I'm a free agent at the moment. I'm still working out the kinks for a possible fight with Adrian Broner, because that's really what the fans want to see.
Oh, I will pay for that fight.
The fans don't want to see this bullshit. The fans don't want to see no more bullshit going on. We had an incredible fight with the YouTuber Jack. What's his name? Jake Paul.
Yeah.
And Jake Paul did pretty good. He did pretty good. But check this out. I respect Jake Paul more than all these other goddamn fighters.
Why
and that's the crazy part. Why? Because he actually fought a fair one.
You talking about against Tommy Fury, correct?
Yeah. He's like, fuck you. Yo, I believe my bullshit. You know something?
Yeah.
I believe it so much. Watch me. And he went out there and put on a great performance. You know what I mean? He was dangerous all the way through the goddamn fight.
Do you think he won that fight? A lot of people feel like he got robbed.
I don't think he got robbed. But damn it, in my head, I thought he might have pulled it off, honestly.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know, man. I remember walking out like after watching that fight, and I don't know, man. Really though?
Yeah.
Really? He loses though? How?
Yeah.
But I'll tell you something. That's what boxing really needed. You know what I mean? Either way it went, that's what boxing really needed. And shit, you know what? Jake Paul, hit me up. MVP promotion, sponsored by Blair the Flair, the most exciting man in boxing. Bow. Why not? You know what I mean? Blair the Flair going hand in hand with one of the biggest promotions, rising promotions in the world right now and up to date. You know, that's a great idea too. I think
and he to pay his fighters too, because he's getting the women paid.
Yeah, he's getting the women paid.
He pay the women. Shout out to the women fighters out there. But yeah, Jake Paul like to pay.
Yeah, that, but he also like to promote. I don't care as much. Look, I believe in my value. But the thing is, I like to make sure that I'm giving you the very, very best of Blair Flair. I love to make sure that I'm not just a taker trying to take money out of your pockets. I'm trying to give you the greatest performance. That means, guess what? When you see Blair Flair on a pay-per-view attraction, you're going to see the most. You're going to see big build-ups, big documentaries, big movie pictures, motion pictures. You're going to see all kinds of action and drama built up that you're going to enjoy. And then you're going to see the fight. And 9 times out of 10, I'm fighting somebody that I'm not supposed to win. And then I go out there and I put on an excellent performance and not only exceed expectations and win. That is something special that everybody should possibly try to be.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know what would be incredible?
What's that?
To even see the most exciting man in boxing, be the most exciting man in boxing. It's just what boxing needs at this moment. You know, PBC is doing a great job. I wonder what's going on with Showtime and that whole thing right there. But
I believe they're going to an app like Paramount Plus or something like that. The last time I checked.
Yeah, because that can hurt PBC. When it comes to that, I don't know the politics. And tell you the truth, when it comes to ratings and television and all of this stuff, This is a really, really strong, and when I mean strong, it's an incredibly strong point that I'm going to be making here.
Okay.
The networks, yes, all of you are not doing good enough. The networks need Blair the Flair.
Yeah.
The networks need Adrian Broner. The networks need Rolly Romero. The networks need a major attraction. They don't give a damn about your politics. They don't give a damn that, like, oh yeah, well, everybody that's this particular genre goes after this person. They don't care how much of a Mexican you are, how much of a goddamn Russian you are, how much of a Dominican you are, how much of whatever like race or ethnicity that you are at this point, because we need a mega attraction. We need a champion of all champions. You know, right now we just got good fighters. We got incredibly good fighters. Terrence Crawford is an incredibly good fighter. He is not a champion among champions. He is not the people's champion, but he is a good fighter. He is a great fighter. He does hold a belt. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So what would make him become like the people's champ? Like what does it take, in your personal opinion, for a guy like him or Earl Spence or anybody with a belt?
To give people like me the opportunity to already be there. To, like, you know what makes him the people's champ?
What's that?
Be John the Baptist and allow the right one to rule. You know, because at the end of the day, like, you have to pass on your throne to somebody that's actually worthy. Now the thing is, in every let's say this, if you look down in history, almost in every generation, major generation and decade, there was always that one pinnacle character that stood out. Sometimes they have a couple pinnacle characters that stood out to a point where, like, they were just bigger than boxing. And that's what got people into boxing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what got people in love with boxing. They got in love with the idea of Muhammad Ali.
Right.
And the charisma and the charismatic personality. They fell in love with Naseem Hamed. They fell in love with these guys that are like Hector Camacho. Hector Camacho, larger than life. You know, Sugar Ray Leonard, larger than life.
Oh yeah, they love sugar. They love sugar. Yep.
You know, they fall in love with these characters and these personas. Boxing, you, the promoters, all of you, need to be valuing these particular fighters, or your goddamn business are going to go under, period. Your career is over, and you're going to kill millions of people's fucking dreams of this goddamn career, of this goddamn boxing world. Boxing is dying. Why? Because of you. That's a direct statement to promoters that need to get their shit together and start figuring out what's important. No, it's not just about, oh yeah, he has a lot of followers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what does he say when he gets on the mic? Oh yeah, well, he's just a really, really good boxer. Like, okay, what does he say when he gets on the mic? Because at the end of the day, we got a joker. This is how crazy it's getting. It's getting so crazy that Jake Paul, who is not really a boxer per se.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was really like just an internet influencer. And all of these other guys that like that Matchroom is throwing together, that's like kind of like hilarious. You know what I'm saying? They're outselling fighters, real fighters in real boxing, because boxing refuses to fucking let people like me rise to where they supposed to be. You know what I mean? That stuff is bad. You know what I mean? People like to talk about how Rolly Romero did this and he got knocked out. Like, bro, how many fights did Rolly Romero have?
He only had what, like 13 or 14 or 15 fights at the time? So he was really very inexperienced.
How many fights did Gervonta Davis have? Like how taken care of was Rolly Romero? He had some pretty tough fights that he knocked off. He had some incredible fighters that he fought. You know what I mean? That I feel like he didn't even get enough credit for it.
Hey, I don't think he get enough credit for his performance against Tank, because at the time of the knockout, I had him up on the cards.
Yeah, he was up on the cards, and also Tank is incredibly scared of that man.
Why
for
you say
good
that?
reason. For good reason. The
Mhm.
man punches like as if a horse kicked you in the face.
So he really so he can crack.
What?
It's not a myth that Rolly Romero
Look,
can crack your fucking jaw.
look, I've never been afraid of Rolly.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But I have heard things. I'm in
Mhm.
Las Vegas too.
Yeah.
I'm in Las Vegas too. And even when I've seen him, I've never seen him at his full potential in what he loved to do, which is sparring.
Right.
And it's a shame because he really should be out there fighting a lot more. You know what I mean? And he should really be promoted to a point where people can like actually see his true potential. But like I've heard a lot of things about his power. You know what I mean? I heard that it was very deceitful. It was very deceitful and it comes out of nowhere. And he's one of the gifted few that like just like myself that can not make sense and not make sense shit make sense.
Right. And you know what else I like about Rolly, which is kind of very similar to yourself and your personality? Y'all don't sugarcoat shit. Y'all say what y'all mean and y'all mean what y'all say. And y'all don't give a damn what fighter you're talking about. They can kiss your ass. He call out Errol Spence all the time. He calls out everybody, just like Blair the Flair Cobbs. So I respect fighters like that.
The crazy thing about people like me and Rolly, right? They're like very gifted at what we do, and might not have like the opportunities. Is that we're very dangerous people. You give us the opportunity, it always things might change. And if you give us a fair chance, oh, we win this. We win this.
50-50, right.
I won so many 50-50 fights, it's ridiculous. I win so many 50-50 fights in my career, and it's crazy because like I've been starting this whole 50-50 shit, you know what I mean, consistently, like very, very early in my career.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've been fighting 50-50 fights consistently. You know what I mean? Like people like me and Rolly is very, very dangerous. But the thing is, that's what boxing needs. Promoters need to be jumping on people like that. People need they need this. They need that like a lot. They need this whole whole persona. They need the Rolly Romeros of the world, the Blair Flairs of the world. They need that more
Adrian
than
Broners, the Tyson theories, even though I feel like he's ducking Usyk right now because he's trying to get a fight with AJ. Yeah, he's ducking Usyk right now.
Why is he ducking
Usyk? It's a long
Usyk?
story, my brother.
I thought that they had that fight done. They've been talking shit.
No. Where he demanded 70-30 his way. Usyk came out the same day and say, look, I do it as long as you donate. I think it was $1 million or some of his purse to the Ukraine, his country. And then I guess they accepted it. And then they went to the table and then he came up with some more shit. So it just all fell apart, bro. Very disgusting.
That's
and disappointing.
Well, yeah. So like in that particular situation, just like the Terrence Crawford, Earl Spence situation, I blame Spence. Spence is the one that's most likely walking away from the table on that one and making it harder and harder, asking for more and more, and like trying to put just like at the end of the day, come on with all of this. Like, cause this business stuff, it's like it's making it incredibly hard for the fans to see these fights happen. We don't want to see another Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather 7 years later type of fight. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, it waters down the sport, especially from a content creator perspective, because we really don't have much to talk about because we ain't getting no fights.
Exactly.
Which is why, some of these dudes on here, which I ain't knocking them, but they like to clickbait and make up shit because they just got to come up with something because we ain't getting shit that we want. And I'm not one of them dudes that do that because I'm a part-time YouTuber. So, when I come on, I like to speak with facts and shit like that. But let me ask you this, Blair. I've been meaning to ask you this for a long time, my brother. Now, there was a rumor floating on Twitter. I want you to confirm this or not, that your Danis Ugas said that you reached out to him to try to make a fight. Is that true?
Yeah, I did.
Because he was kind of slick dissing. I'm like, well, is he talking about business black? Because he never said your name. I'm putting two and two together. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Maybe he talking about Mr. Smoke. He tried to discredit you like, oh, well, he ain't did nothing and who he done beat and all this extra shit.
I beat you.
Right. But go ahead.
Beat you in sparring.
Okay, so what happened with that?
You would get smacked up.
Okay. So was that with Golden Boy or like how did that work out?
the moment I hit him up around the time when I was just being released or whatever, on this particular time period where like I'm on my own, as far as like promotion. And I have a situation where as though I can put on, like, I have resources to build up a card. I have resources to develop my own promotion. You know what I mean? And make things the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And the thing is, all I need is a great fighter to dance with. Yeah. And like, how much I want the smoke? I want the smoke so bad that I'm willing to fucking call out somebody as dangerous as Stanionis Ugas.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I'm looking at his ranking right now in the WBO. I don't know if you can see it, Blair, but he's currently ahead of you at number 5. You number 6. I don't see why y'all can't make that fight.
Of course. And then the thing is, right? Then I should be number 1 after beating Stanionis Ugas. Come on. You know what I'm saying?
Like, Elliott just took a loss. I believe Cody Crowley just won a close fight, his last fight, and then you got Rocha. We don't know what's going to happen with that fight. So I don't know if you'll move up to number 1, but you'll definitely move up. I
feel like that's very interesting with Alexis Rocha. I mean,
what's the dude name he fighting again?
Oh, that's Juice Young. Now I know Juice. I know Juice Young.
Okay, right? I don't know him. I'm not gonna lie.
But it's very interesting how they try to find these fighters, right?
I don't even see him ranked in none of the sanctioning bodies.
Man, that's because he haven't fought in probably like over a year.
Oh, okay. So basically, this is a tune-up. This is a soft touch, is what you're saying.
It's not a soft touch.
Okay.
It's what you call a circumstantial fight. Alexis Rocha and the people that's moving Alexis Rocha are great at circumstantial gains. They're not real fights. They're circumstantial fights. They fight Blair to Flair, but Blair to Flair is a year layoff while they've been consistently fighting. And not only that, they've been in the gym, been working, been prepared for me for like over a year. I just so happened to jump back in the ring, like, you know what I mean, after like a year layoff with like only like a couple of weeks to prepare. You know what I mean? And only signed a contract the day of the fight. Like,
so basically you saying the people at Golden Boy kind of on their Vince McMahon shit, to use a wrestling analogy, where they setting all these rules and stipulations like handicap matches and special referees and shit like that.
Yeah, like that's a big handicap.
Okay,
will it go down the way it did before if there was a full training camp? I mean, you've seen how dramatically different the fight was between Rocha and then the right after I fought a top 10 contender. I'm still trying to fucking wrap my head around who did Rocha fight that was a top 10 contender.
I don't know. Let me pull him up.
He fought like 3 bums right after me. Like, and how is he number 1?
Let me pull him up. Keep cooking, Blair. My bad. I'm listening. Go ahead.
So, like, it's very interesting how everything goes, and I get it. I'm not like politically the favored for like promotions and certain people and sanctioning bodies, but we need to fix that. And I got a great idea. How about Blair to Flair versus Alexis Rocha rematch?
I love that fight, but I would love to make a special request, my brother. You know who I really want to see you fight more than anybody now?
Oh,
Jerron Boots Ennis.
Oh, now that's
because I saw so many flaws in that last fight that he had against Villa. He looked like garbage. I'ma say it. He looked like trash. I wouldn't say trash, but he looked very overhyped, is what I'm gonna say.
Because everybody's
acting like he's the next
that night.
Jones. He's this, he's that. He has knockout power. I done had dudes come on my panel, Blair. Listen to this shit. I'm glad you're sitting down, and I hope this don't make you fart. But I had a dude on my panel sit up here with a straight face and told your boy E-Thriller, aka the Black Picasso, that Jerron Boots Ennis would knock out Canelo Alvarez at 168. He said that. I had a nigga tell me this on my panel. He was dead. And I'm like, wait a minute. If Triple G couldn't even rock this dude, what makes you think Jerron Boots Ennis, who hadn't fought nobody, still ain't fought nobody at this present moment, right? Would do something to Canelo Alvarez, dog. I mean, this is the type of shit that they say, Blair. So I would love for you to get in the ring and expose all them flaws. Because I know you see way more than what I saw because you're a boxer.
I see that fight being made in the future very, 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 very soon. And I see a lot of fear. There's always been fear. There's always been fear about my presence being still around. Look, they tried to kill me in Philadelphia. They drowned me out. I went 3 years with no fucking fights.
Right.
There's a reason behind that. Blair to Flair is serious. There's a reason behind the fact that like they would boast around how like they sparred me one time.
Yeah, you said that on the second time you came on.
One time they sparred. I sparred you that one time. Let's remember that. Remember. Like, no, you remember.
Yeah.
You know why? Because you were sparring a real motherfucker. That's why. You were sparring somebody that was a serious problem that didn't give two shits about your life or your career because you was nothing before him. Yeah, like
how many wins
that's
at the
how
time?
Real
was he a professional at the time? How many wins?
Bro, he wasn't even like
I
don't even know.
Okay,
I don't even know. All I seen was like, okay, he's just some kid that's like, you know, like people were putting interest and putting a whole lot of money in. Okay. But you know, I was still sitting there like, well, the truth is going to come out sooner or later. I don't need to waste my mind on that. I can just like, let me just try to focus on possibly getting signed by somebody. Yeah. I went through the most in Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? I went through the fucking most, and most people would not survive what I went through. You know, so like that's just something to throw out there. But I would love that fight. That fight is very interesting. But you know something?
I think it would sell too, Blair, because you're gonna pop that shit. I want
to see that.
I would love to see that fight, especially after that last fight. Because I'm telling you, the man couldn't cut off the ring. He was overextended on his punches. He got spun around, was doing the fucking Macarena a couple of times in the ring, trying to knock the dude out. He was looking very pedestrian, might I add. I'm just saying. He didn't knock my socks off, bro. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying.
You know what?
And he was switching, and I'm like, why are you switch? Like it wasn't instinctive. It was like
they switched for a reason. But you know something? Yeah. Let me just put it like this.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You're the best. You're the best. Boots Ennis. Go out there and do your thing. You're the best. You're the best fighter ever. You're the best fighter ever. Oh my God. I bow down to you. And we're going to fight sooner or later because you cannot run from the truth. And the truth is that Blair to Flair is a reality that's still alive. A flame that's still alive.
I'm gonna put it out there. I think he ducking your business, Blair. I think he is, bro, because you done pulled up on him. You done called him out. I don't know how many times on my show. You done called him out on other people's platforms and things of that nature. And whenever your name gets brought up, he kind of get a little tense. His palms get a little sweaty and his ass get a little tight. I'm just saying, I can read body language very well. So, hey, Jerron Boots Ennis, if you listening, you and Bozy, shout out to y'all. Shout out to all my dogs in Philly. But you've been put on notice, my brother. Business Blair, a.k.a. Mr. Smoke, wants all the smoke. When y'all gonna make that fight happen? Because you ain't got no fight lined up right now. And I know you've been acting like everybody been ducking you, Spence ducking you, Crawford ducking you. But Business Blair want that fucking work. Make it happen. There you go, Blair. I apologize. Go ahead.
Absolutely. I want to get that stuff going. You know what I mean? And I want to get that stuff going with fair circumstances. Because you know something? While everybody is playing the game, I like to do this. You know something? Like, you know what? Virgil Ortiz. Jerron Boots Ennis. I'll put some high heels on your ass. Boop. Jerron High Heels Ennis.
Fuck me over, man. Go ahead.
You know what I mean? They'll change those boots to red
man.
bottoms, motherfucker, real
Oh
fast.
man, you gonna put the
You'll
Prada
be wearing-
shoes on him, basically.
What? He'll be wearing thongs when I'm done with him. You know, like. But yeah, like I like to see what happens. Look, how about this rematch with Alexis Rocha? Let's see what happens. You know, I would love to see these guys in action. And you know, Ugas.
coming off injury. Do you think he really want to get in the ring with you coming off that eye injury? Because Earl, I'm gonna be honest, Earl Spence put on a clinic. He beat the dog shit out of Yordanis Ugas.
Yeah,
he beat the hell out of him. So I don't know if he's ready to come back and jump in the ring with a guy like you.
But the thing is, he has no choice.
Huh? I mean,
he really don't have no choice.
You looking at the rankings?
It's either you're gonna fucking fight me, that's gonna actually produce real growth and revenue and be a big spectacular performance. You may win, you may not lose, you may not win. You know what I mean? You may win, you may lose. But regardless, it's gonna be an attraction. You know what I mean? Everybody's gonna stay tuned. Or you're gonna fucking fight Mario Barrios and nobody's gonna give a fuck about it.
Don't nobody give a damn about that fight.
Don't nobody give a fuck about that. So which
Blair,
one are we gonna go for?
Let me ask you this. Let me put you on the spot. If you had to sign if Al Heyman said, okay, you want to make this fight with Yordanis Ugas, right? Well, you got to come over here and holler at us at the PBC. Would you be willing to sign with them?
Absolutely. Right away. And I want to get what I put out. You know what I mean? Ugas, okay, perfect. Now check this out. I'm gonna sell that bitch. I'm gonna put all this stuff together. Give me some of the power of promoting, and I'll put some shit together that'll be incredible. And just give me $500,000 for that shit. Give me what I'm deserved. Give me what I'm deserved. Guess what? You're gonna make way more money than you ever made with this motherfucker ever. Even more than the goddamn Earl Spence fight, because very few people even gave a shit when he fought Earl Spence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Very few people actually stay tuned to that. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? They'll tune in when I do it, and it'll grow a whole lot more money, a whole lot more revenue. And guess what? Then you got a star in the making. Not just a good fighter, but a star that's in top number one like position. You know what I'm saying? And then you can run me through the ringer. I would knock off the young fighters just like I knock off the old fighters.
I was just about to say, because you know we have panels open all the time, and everybody say all the smoke at 147 and at 154 is with the PBC. So I mean, yeah, that might be a move that you have to make. I wouldn't, you know, I know how most people are about getting tied to a promotional company, but there might be something that you have to look into, Blair. But let me ask you this about that. Let me ask you this about your.
I would love to see what happens. I would love to just tear down what I left behind. I would love to just, you know what? All right, Golden Boy, y'all didn't see the value. Okay, now check this out. The fans are going to demand it. The fans are demanding that you put your boy,
Alexis Rocha.
Not Alexis Rocha, because Rocha is just like He's not the guy that Golden Boy is really protected.
Okay.
He's like that sidebar character that, like, you know what I mean? They just give him the best possible advantages. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, their guy is Virgil Ortiz. Right. And the whole hysterics with this whole rhabdomyolysis and all this other stuff. Like, how about this? I would love to see what happens. Virgil Ortiz, 50-50. Because the thing is, right? Yo, I hate the fact that like people can get so much credit without actually being proven. Well, okay. Well, how about this? Fight Blair to Flair.
So you don't think Virgil Ortiz is proven?
I think Virgil Ortiz is an incredible athlete, and I wish nothing but the best for him as a fighter. And like whatever that he's going through, I hope that he gets better with it. You know what I mean? And like actually fight these fights that he's supposed to be fighting.
Yeah.
But like the thing is, right? The way promotions, the way like matchmakers and everything works, and this is something like if you don't know, now it's time you know. Okay. That a lot of times these fights, just like with the Alexis Rocha fights with these guys, a lot of them are like circumstantial fights, whereas though like they try to play this card like, oh, if you ain't got enough money, oh, perfect, now I can play you. Like, how about this 2-week notice? It's just stuff like that. You know what I mean? Whereas though you don't get to see the best of the best fight each other.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? There was this guy from Philadelphia that got knocked out by this Asian dude. I forget his name. He's at 140. He's at 140 PBC guy. Like I remember watching it on
from Philly.
Yeah, it's a dude named Samuel Tech that fought. I forget this Asian dude, this Asian / Mexican dude. I think he was Korean or something. Terrific fighter.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I forget his name.
Yeah, I can't think off the top of my head. What you talking about?
But the whole thing is with that situation, if you look into the actual fight, this kid is being consistently pushed every single time. Ain't no telling how much money this is like invested in this kid. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then the thing is, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's put in consistently year by year. He's getting in there consistently. And then he fights a guy named Samuel Tech that's like, you know what I mean, that's not been in there consistently. That's been off for a year and all this stuff. And then you like, these guys are tough. You know, Samuel Tech is a tough fighter. But the thing is, things kind of change when you have circumstances. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Now, like you fight a Samuel Tech that's been juggling boxing and like a full-time job with a family.
Damn. Yeah.
And haven't been in the gym consistently. Yeah. And then like after a whole year layoff, he comes back into the gym to hurry up and put on the show for a quick little 4-week notice fight. And then boom, you're not going to see the best Samuel Tech versus this guy, this prodigy that you call prodigy. Like I would like to see some of these fucking prodigies, hence Virgil Ortiz. I got nothing against Virgil Ortiz, and I hate the fact that we always have to talk about him. But the thing is, I would love to see these guys that people are considering, oh, he's special, he's special. Oh, if he's so goddamn special, believe in him then. Put his ass in the ring and see what the fuck happens. At the end of the day, try this shit. Try this shit with me right now. I dare you. You know what I mean? Try a 50-50 fight. Because, like, it's frustrating. Because if it ain't this, if you can't do this, then he ain't real.
Hey, I'll do you one better. I know he's not going to do that because he's had several opportunities to exercise his right as the WBO mandatory to face Terrence Crawford, and he's went the other way twice. He fought against Velasquez, right? And then he moved out of the WBO rankings to set up this fight with Stanionis. Why would you do that when you're in prime position to go up against one of, if not the best pound-for-pound fighters in the sport, in Terrence Crawford? To me, Golden Boy and Virgil Ortiz. That doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense.
And that's very interesting because they're just like, what, waiting for Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence to move on in life? Move on. Leave the division.
Hey, Boots did the same thing. He was in the WBO. He would have been next in line, but what did he do? He went the IBF route, and we all know Earl ain't defended that strap in 4 to 5 years. The last time he defended that was against fucking Carlos Ocampos. Are you kidding me? And so why would you do that? But you claim that you wanted Crawford. You'll fight him in his backyard. You'll fight Errol Spence. You ain't ducking nobody, but why would you move out the WBO? So that goes back to the points that you was making on this show and the last time you was on. These dudes are not competitors. They not. They fraudulent. And I'm going to say it.
Fraudulent. And like, so like, yeah, like I see a lot of these young fighters, you know what I mean? That's they're incredible athletes and like, but hey, they look, I feel like the fans deserve to know what's real and what's not real. Right. Because at the end of the day, like, we are all bamboozled. There's tons of goddamn fans that don't know the sport as much as they probably should. Talking about how Boots can probably beat Canelo Alvarez. And
I'm saying, man.
You know, I'm just saying.
That's the type of shit I have to put up with on a night in and
like
night out basis.
Yeah. Virgil Ortiz is the best welterweight champion of the world. I'm like, okay, what championship he got? Okay, all right. And then you know, it's just a lot of things. And like, I get it. They're being promoted by very successful promoters and promotions and things like that is happening. But at the end of the day, we would probably like to see like what happens when they do this. You know what I mean? Now, the thing is, the messed up part about my career is I did this a lot. I did this a lot. And I did this with nothing at the end of it or at the flip. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like I was being paid. They were high risk, low reward fights with people that you would know if I didn't beat them. You know what I'm saying? People that you would know if it wasn't for me. You would know who Caribbean is today. He would be a major attraction if he didn't fight me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You would know who Villalobos is. He would be a major attraction if he didn't fight me. And he still is an incredible fighter. Like, these guys are still incredible fighters. But the thing is, right? I had to do this. I had to do the flip. I had to sit here and believe in God and flip. And the thing is, I would love to see what happens when these promoters get up off of their ass and start promoting fights. You know what I mean? Because regardless, there's money involved. You know what I mean? But also, like, if you believe in your boy, put him in a flip. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then the thing is, like, yo, if you have a star in the making, a real star, like a real showman, and you see that the networks are making sure that your ass put that boy in whatever
stuff like
whatever major fight that there is, yo, you better make sure that you have that boy not as like the undercard, but on the main card. We had to do that multiple times with Golden Boy. Why? You know what I'm saying? Did I not prove in myself? Did I not prove in my worth?
Yeah.
Time and time again. How many times did I do this and win? Did I not prove it? I hope that Golden Boy, but not just Golden Boy, but just boxing in general, gets a little bit better with these particular situations.
Right.
And make something big happen. You know, just because it's not just me. There's a lot of great fighters out there that deserves an opportunity. And I wish nothing but the best for like even the fighters that I spoke about, but I just wish that that boxing would get better. It's not just them, it's really boxing. Boxing get better. Because if we don't get better, we will lose the sport.
Let me ask you this, Blair, to that point, because I'm looking at your resume, bro, and you're not the only one that's guilty of this. And I know this is not based off of your own doing. Do you think boxing is also suffering from the, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Consistency or staying active as a fighter? Because your last fight was August the 6th, 2022. Well, shit, Blair, I mean, we in what, April of 2023?
Exactly. I wonder what happened.
Fighters don't really fight a lot. I mean, it's really going all across the board nowadays, outside of guys like Canelo and things of that nature. So do you think that's another problem with the sport of boxing, like the inactivity of all you great fighters?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. How about this? You know what would be great? You know what really sells? Promote these guys. If you find a character that actually like deserves to be promoted, promote them. You know what I'm saying? But you have to promote the person, the actual fighters, because the thing is, when you promote these fighters, then like guess what? Their stock go up, but your stock goes up too, and then you're able to put on these fights. You're able to justify more big fights and more big competition and more everything. You're able to sell whatever that you need to sell for the actual television ratings.
Yeah.
Now the thing is, if you're not actually promoting these fighters, and if these fighters aren't being promoted to a point where like people are getting personally invested in these fighters, you know what I mean? And you're just playing oh yeah, well, the only way I'm going to get like the people and the fans personally invested is playing this. Oh yeah, this is a Mexican fighter. Oh yeah, this is our best black fighter.
Yeah, the black and brown.
This is our white fighter. Fucking fucking such and such.
Mm.
You know what I mean? He's gonna fight Benavidez. And like it's like that style is getting old. And it's not good enough for today's world. We need more. Ever since Floyd Mayweather, we need more now. We need a Blair to Flair that actually wants to do what you've been trying, what you need. You need a promoter. You need somebody that's promotable too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we don't see enough. We don't see enough. You know what I'm saying? And it's so bad that like it's hard to be excited about a fight unless something crazy pop off. Like somebody got to get smacked or something. You know what I mean? Like Blair Flair need to show up and sucker punch somebody.
Yeah, kind of like when you remember when Canelo slapped Caleb Plant. That was a good build up to that fight.
Yeah.
But that had a lot of vitriol. Then the David Benavidez and Caleb Plant was pretty decent too.
Yeah, like
but they genuinely didn't like each other heading into the fight.
Yeah, like you know what sold that fight? The fact that Benavidez can change people's perspective about him. You know what I mean? It was incredible because the whole thing is right. And like I kind of figured it out. I was like, wow, he kind of did that shit to me. Because I know Benavidez. I know the team. I know them very well. You know what I'm saying? And like he even got me to the point of like, you know what? I don't like him.
Yeah, good point. I know a lot of my partners that come on my panel that I talk with every day wasn't really feeling David Benavidez, mainly his pops, because of the stuff that he said about Caleb Plant. I get it. But go ahead,
you know something.
Yeah,
that's incredible when you can have somebody that knows you and loves you to death. And because you have the power to manipulate and say things and this and that and hit buttons that should probably not be pressed, and then like turn even a person that's a fan of yours like, oh, you know what, I don't want him.
Kind of like wrestling, like a heel, like a good heel in a sense. That's like a Stone Cold. Like when Stone Cold turned bad, you still loved him because he was Stone Cold. Or The Rock. There's certain guys that have that attribute of that it factor that even though they're a bad guy, you still gonna roll with them like Triple H.
Yeah, but I love the guys that can actually turn you sour too, though. The guys where like you love once, but then now you don't love them. If he's able to provoke that emotion, that means he's doing a good job at promoting. That's when I realized, like, you know what? When I caught myself being emotionally provoked, and it don't take too much for me because like I'm a silly joker. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing the same thing to everybody. So like, I'm like, hold up, this motherfucker's doing a good job. This motherfucker got me not wanting to see him win to win. Like, that's crazy because like I actually love this dude. Like,
hey, you know what's so cold about that, Blair? Though I don't think he was acting, bro. He wasn't acting. He wasn't playing no role. He really meant every word he was saying at them press conferences leading up to that fight. And so did Caleb Plant. And Caleb Plant is very strategic with his trash talk. Like he say shit in a monotone, but it's very condescending and sarcastic, which is what I think brought David Benavidez to that point. Like, motherfucker, I'll fuck you up right now. Like, you know how to press his button. So Caleb Plant is a shrewd operator. Like, he one of the motherfuckers that say some shit that like, we're like, wait a minute, is he trying me right now? But he's so calm with it. But go ahead, my bad.
See, so so basically, those two guys. Now that might have been a freak of nature. You know what I'm saying?
What you mean?
A freak of nature is where like this popped off, and it became a great sensation. It became a great promotion, and it was really because of all of these type of circumstances that actually compiled on top of each other and created drama.
Yeah, that had beef.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now that might be just like a one-time deal. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I enjoyed that fight. It was a hell of a fight and build up to the fight. Even though I don't think it sold that well, but yeah, it was a great fight. Great fight.
Now the whole thing is you need guys that's able to do that consistently, though.
So let me ask you this, Blair. I know you mentioned that you reached out to Ugas. You tried to make that fight. We know Ugas was on this. I don't know who you think he is, but whatever. But
yeah, like check this out. I have something Like if Ugas is watching this fight, I have something that can put out way more money than what the hell you're getting with Mario Barrios.
Mario Barrios. Why is he
don't-
fighting Mario Barrios? I have no clue, but go ahead.
I got a situation, I got a setup, I got a deal, and matter of fact, you can add whatever that you want to it. You know what I'm saying? And best believe, guess what? You're going to get paid more than me, and you're going to get the better deal. And you're
Wait a minute. So you're willing to be the B-side to Yordenis Ugas, the former world champion?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Hell
Okay.
yeah.
I'm just clarifying because a lot of people don't say that in my tag. Okay, go ahead.
I'm the B-side.
Okay, that's cool. That's fair. Okay.
But guess what? I'm going to put on the fight. I'm going to promote the fight.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm going to take out all the great characteristics of Yordenis Ugas and how incredible he is. There's a lot of things that we don't know about Ugas. Ugas is an incredible fighter that's been through all kinds of shit. You know what I mean? And then Blair to Flair as well. We can put together a big promotion and make that a big fight, a big exciting fight. And guess what? Everybody's going to get paid. And you're going to get paid way more than Mario Barrios. And I even have people that's in pocket right now. If you want to really pull that trigger, we can be talking numbers right now. You know what I mean?
Hey, bro. Hey, let me just say this. Let me make this statement. I don't really know how a fight between him and Mario Barrios is going to sell more than a fight with you and Ugas anyway, because Mario Barrios doesn't have a personality, and neither does Yordenis Ugas because he doesn't speak English. So with that point alone, how would Blair the Flair, the trash talking himself, the most exciting man in the sport of boxing, how would you get up for a fight with a guy that really don't speak English? Like, do you still do your typical, you going at him no matter what, or do you kind of fall back and, you know what I'm saying, and chill out a little bit? Like, how do you approach a fight, you know, leading up to the fight with a Yordenis Ugas or anybody that can't really speak English?
Oh man, first of all, I'm going to figure it out. Like I speak a little, I speak a little bit of Spanish. Yeah, I speak a little bit of Spanish, but also like, you know, I'll be man for that fight. I will learn fluent Spanish. I will learn fluent trash talking Spanish. Like, people know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? And you know, really learning Spanish was something that like I pushed behind me a little bit. But honestly, I'm supposed to be full fluent. You know what I mean? I lived in Mexico for 3.5 years. Damn, you know, as a teenager. You know what I'm saying? Like as a child, I was in Mexico. I grew up in Mexico. Wow. Ta-da. A lot of things that people don't know. You know what I'm saying? Right there in Guadalajara. And guess who was on my undercard? Canelo. As an amateur, I was a big sensation. I had the big
Canelo was on your undercard?
Like as an amateur.
Yeah, I know. Man,
as an amateur, we were fighting on the same little smokers and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And I remember when he turned pro and everybody was like, hey man, you should just go ahead and knock that guy off before he make it and this and this and that. And I'm like, nah, I really don't know nothing about boxing on that level and this and that. You know what I'm saying? I moved on to, you know, to go my route. You know what I mean? And even though it might be a long route, but you know, I took this route. You know what I mean? Because like I'm not an actual citizen. I'm not even a real person. Like if I beat that dude, who the hell is gonna know who the fuck I was ever? Like, you know, I'm on a run, motherfucker. Like, you know, so it's a lot of crazy stuff that's going on. But that's there's a lot of good stuff that we could be talking about to build up the drama for Ugas fight.
Yeah.
So I thought that would be a perfect fight, not just for me, but for the fans. I'm not really thinking about just myself. I'm a giver. I'm not just out here trying to take money from BOK Prime or just trying to take money from Don King or just trying to take money from like, you know what I mean, from promoters and then not put on a good show. You know, so like that just goes to show you that like I am what I'm saying I am. I am the most exciting man in boxing. And I'm here to please you guys, the fans. The fans, they want a great, exciting fight. All right. But let's make it a 50-50 fight. Okay. If you want a fight with Boots, allow me to get a tune-up too. You know what I mean? Allow me to get a tune-up and be ready and be prepped and ready. And then like we go at it 50-50.
Hey, man, I would love that fight. I would love to see that fight.
I'm going to give him all the praise. I'm be like, look, you're going to beat me. You're going to beat me. Just keep coming forward and come get me.
Hey, man, I appreciate your time, my brother. I appreciate you for stopping by pulling up on me in the Wolfpack, man. This your third time on the show, man. You're always welcome whenever you got
Absolutely.
something you want to promote, whenever you have a big fight or after a fight, you can hit me up or I hit you up at any time. Whatever the day is, I'm coming on for you. I appreciate you for not going Hollywood on me. It's a lot of boxers that don't really want to do interviews with certain smaller YouTuber channels. So once again, from me to you, thank you once again for pulling up on me, man. Let the people know where they can find you, my brother.
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Blair the Flair. And for more exciting content, official BlairTheFlair.com. Blair the Flair is the most exciting man in boxing, and you can look and stay tuned for another ass-whooping performance. Woo! From Blair the Flair, baby.
I appreciate it, my brother, man. Shout out to everybody once again in the chat. That's for my dog, Blair the Flair, a.k.a. Business Blair, a.k.a. Mr. Smoke, man. He put everybody on notice. He wanted Lexus Rocha. He want the rematch. He want to run it back. He also wants the Jordanis Ugas. We can't forget about Adrian the Problem Broner. Hell, he mentioned Keith Thurman on the last time he came on, right?
Absolutely.
He's open to that
Absolutely.
fight. He's open to a fight with Stanionis. He's willing to step in for Virgil if they allow him to. The man wants to fight. Can this man get the opportunities? Because he deserves to, right? He's putting it all on the line with these fucking 50-50 fights. Shout out to my dog, Business Blair, man. Nice talking to you again, my brother.
Thank you very much for everybody on this channel, man. Yo, you're the man. You're
Thank
the
you,
man.
man.
I love. It's people like you that makes boxing great and keeps the dream alive. Thank you very much for having me.
Appreciate it, my brother. We'll be in touch.
Absolutely.
Salute. All right, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Let me read some of these comments, man. See what y'all got for me before I drop this link, man, and let y'all come on the rock for a little bit. Let me see, man. Starting from the top. Shout out to my guy, Boxing Nerd 101, man. He said, let's go. What's popping? How are you, kind sir? What up to my guy, Zachary? He said, welcome back, OGA, man. I appreciate it, my brother. It feels damn good to be back, man. I've been gone for a little hot minute. I've been sick and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I'm about to be way more consistent, man, as of tonight. Yes, sir. I appreciate you, Zach. What up to my guy, the unbiased fan, a.k.a. Brim Reaper? He said, pulling up to work to listen to the Go 3. I appreciate it, my brother. Shout out to my brother in real life. The General Big Fish has walked in the building with E-Thriller, a.k.a. the Black Picasso. He said, go Thriller. I appreciate it, my brother. How are you? Shout out to my dog, Massachusetts, Fishing and Growing. He said, salute. What's popping? What up to my guy, Andrew? I see your boy. What up to Tyrese? He said, what up? What's popping? Woo! Yes, sir. Shout out to Business Blair. Shout out to my dog, Young Money. A milli. What up to my dog, Young Moolah? He said, go D3. What's popping? How are you, kind sir? He said, Big Fish, Boxing Nerd. What's up, fellas? He said, what's good, E3? I appreciate it, nerd. Shout out to my favorite Earl Spence fan, man. The BFB Master Q is in the building, my brother. Shout out to the Wolfpack. What's popping? He said, shout out to the Go Thriller. I'm at work listening. Damn, you at work, fam? I appreciate you for tapping in with me, my guy. Let me see, man. Who didn't I get? What up to BSMI 1361? He said, what's his beef with Spence? Hey, man, I'm not sure if my guy Business Blair is still on the line, but if you want to answer this question, he said, what's his beef with Spence? I'm assuming this guy's an Earl Spence fan. Yours, my brother.
Yeah, I don't have any real beef with Spence. I'm just I'm frustrated just like all the other fans. All the other fans are frustrated with not making this fight happen. And and I'm also frustrated with him believing that he deserves so much more than Terrence Crawford. You know, like look, 60-40, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, you know, to make it to a point where like it's ridiculous and you have Terrence Crawford just bending over backwards and just doing the most. Like, look, it's just no reason to go through that. Sign the dotted line so people can respect you, because we don't respect you anymore. It's hard for me to respect you if you're not taking this fight serious, because you're nothing. You're nothing without the fans, and you're nothing without Terrence Crawford. Because at least you have a Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes people will be so great that they don't even have an equivalent. Roy Jones didn't have an equivalent.
Right. And it's,
you know what I mean? Aaron Pryor really didn't have an equivalent. And Manny Pacquiao beat fucking, 3 times. He really didn't have an equivalent.
You talking about Marquez?
Yeah. He beat Marquez nearly 3 times, man. Like, nobody really, like, it's rare when you have a spectacular fighter that has a perfect equivalent and have somebody that the fans want to see. Make it happen. You know what I mean? Make it happen. You know what I mean? Because that's a big blessing. That's a big blessing for the sport. And it's a big blessing to you. Like, as much as you think that you don't need Crawford, and as much as Crawford think that he don't need Spence, you actually do need each other. And boxing needs you guys to actually get up off your asses and fight. You know what I mean? Boxing needs it.
The sport is on life support, man. And see, this is my thing with the Earl-sexuals. We call them Earl-sexuals on YouTube. I'm not sure if you know this, Blair, but they hate my guts because I do own the best series on YouTube. I got a 19-part series on Here's Proof that Errol Spence is still ducking Terrence Bud Crawford. I mean, they hate my guts, man. I'm probably the most hated nigga on YouTube. But anyway, I don't give a fuck. But see, whenever you offer constructive criticism like me and you do with Errol Spence, they want to call you a hater. Like, telling the truth ain't hating, bro. Well, I mean, we can't ignore the fact that he's making this man do this. He told him to go get the belt. He told him, oh, why would I do this when you're on the other side of the street? Oh, I'm gonna fuck up, knock out Sean Porter and all this extra shit. He got a belt too. And then it went from there to the horses, the cows, the chickens, and the pigs, and the farm and the ranch in Dallas, and all this extra shit. I mean, what are we supposed to say? Are we supposed to ignore all of this bullshit that has been spewing from Errol Spence's mouth? You understand what I'm saying? And I'm from Dallas, so I really get heated because he make us look bad. And I was an Errol Spence fan. I was rocking with him once again because I'm from Dallas. But I mean, my Lord, I can't help but to notice the man energy shifted whenever Terrence Bud Crawford got that WBO belt at 147. Facts. That's all we saying.
Yeah, and that's how it is. And that's how it is, man. That's how it is. So, like,
did nobody say he wasn't a good fighter? Did nobody say he don't have a good jab or he can't bang to the body? See, that would be hating.
Nah, he's incredible. You see
what I'm saying? Like, that's hating, saying Errol Spence is not a good fighter. I've never said that. But anyway,
I would be a hater if I said that, like, Errol Spence sucks.
Exactly. But when you give constructive criticism, like, they want to take it and run with it. But that's what they do, though. They so emotional. They so emotional. Let me see if I can find something else for you, Blair, while I still got you. I appreciate the extra time too, my brother.
I would be a hater if I said that, like any of these guys suck. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, Virgil Ortiz sucks. I'm not saying that. And I'm not saying that he's on something, but like, it's very interesting. You know what I mean? USADA got involved. You know what I mean? The is that what it's called? USADA, the blood blood
USADA. USADA got testing, right? Don't they do VADA?
Yeah,
that. I think Floyd brought that shit to the forefront.
They do blood testing and blood, you know, for anti-blood doping situations. And like, you know, unfortunately this time, if you have those guys in the midst, they don't do like, okay, just a week before the fight, we're going to test you. No, they'll test you in the midst of the camp. You know what I'm saying? So like, you'll have Stanionis that already been tested like a month ago. And then now we're waiting for him and we're waiting for this fight to mature, but then nothing happens. You know what I'm saying? Nothing happens. And matter of fact, the fight's canceled. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that he's on something in it, but it definitely looks interesting. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie that like as much as the fans are thinking that it's very interesting that this is happening, me too. Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing.
And it's the same thing again because this happened before the McKinnon fight, right?
The McKinnon fight, the moment like it was very interesting to me. That's why like I said what I said, and like I took it back. You know what I mean? But the moment it was time for me to get my blood drawn, like the fight was canceled. And then it was funny because the second fight I didn't get my blood drawn. And the fight wasn't canceled. And when the fight went on to like happen, and it was a great success for everybody. But then but now we have this other fight popping off, and now it's time to get blood tested again and everything. But like this time, it's not It's not like just like within the last 2 weeks is happening, you know, within the camp. You know what I mean? Before camp gets started, early in the camp, this and that, random blood testing is being like, you know, initiated, and then all of a sudden this fight gets canceled, like way farther, like before, like that time period. And you can't say that like it's oh yeah, he's having a hard time making weight. I mean, was he really trying to even make weight? So it's almost 2 months before the fight. Like,
Right, because really that fight was right after the Ryan and Tank fight. It was a week after, so it would have been that following Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, on the 29th.
yeah, so like it got canceled like very, very prematurely. So like, you know, I'm not insinuating anything. I'm just saying that it's very interesting how things unravels. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And like beyond all of that, I still back up everything I said 100%. I have my reasons. And then on top of that, if you got a problem with it, shut my mouth. Try it.
Yeah,
Try me. Try me.
The old-fashioned way. So
Yeah.
shout out to my guy, CEO Boy. I hope I'm saying your name right, fam. In the chat, he said, "Does Blair think the fight is happening?" I'm in late. I'm assuming he's talking about Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. Do you think that fight is still going to happen?
That's a good question. That is a good question because, like, I don't know.
You know what? If you don't mind, I don't know how much more time you got, but I can play you some audio that I was going to roll. And I want to get your take on this. This is coming from Steven Espinoza, you know, the head man at Showtime Sports. I do not own the rights to this content. This is for educational purposes only. I'm not going to show it because YouTube be hating on my channel, Blair. So we just going to listen to the audio. Let's hear what he had to say about Errol Spence and Terrence Bud Crawford as of today, because I believe he was at the Sebastian Fundora fight or some shit like that. DJ E-Thriller, roll that clip.
You know, we're getting big fight after big fight. You know, we tried to make Spence Crawford last fall. It didn't happen. You know, and now hopefully we'll get another shot at the summer. There are talks ongoing. And look, there's still issues to overcome. But as long as everybody's engaged, which everyone is, and as long as everybody is willing to keep working at it, then I think there's a good shot of it happening.
Yeah.
Okay, so my thing with that, Blair, I hope could you hear that, my brother, a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, so my thing is this with Steven Espinoza. He just sat up there and said there's still ongoing issues to iron out or something like that to that extent. But my thing is this: y'all claim y'all gave the man everything he wanted whenever he walked away and fought David Avenesian. So why not just offer him the same goddamn deal with the transparency that y'all allegedly gave him? You understand? Before he went to go fight David Avocado, what else is there to talk about? Like, what's the holdup? Am I tripping?
I don't know, man. Are they waiting for him to get old?
Don't say that, Blair.
I mean, how old is Crawford?
He is 36, if I'm not mistaken. 35, 36, I think.
36, I thought he was like 38 or something.
No, I don't think he's that old. Yeah, 36. I can look it up. Let me look. But yeah, go ahead, man. What was your take on what he just said? Because it sounds like to me they still ain't even got all the issues ironed out. Like, how long does it take to make a fight?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of frustration in that situation, and I just pray that these guys get better with it and make it happen. You know, make it happen. You know, and it's things like this that don't happen that is actually ruining boxing. Yeah. You know, it's actually ruining boxing, and it's allowing silly jokers like Salt Bay or whatever the hell this dude is, and all these silly characters are just coming out of the woodworks. And meanwhile, you have promoters that are actually stopping like characters that are actually real fighters from like progressing. It's just it's a weird moment in time where as though like if we don't get our stuff together, boxing will die. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd be like, it's the same thing. Like, I'd be like, look, Golden Boy, you could do what you're supposed to do and save boxing, or like your job will be over soon enough. Like, boxing is dying if you don't do what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? But like, it feels like pulling teeth trying to get like people to do what they're supposed to do. Right. You know, it was just like trying to like pay fighters what they deserve to be paid. That's like pulling teeth. And then like it's like everything, you know. And then now we have it to a point where fighters are supposed to be trained, is supposed to be like helping to promote fights, but then they're not doing what they're supposed to do. So then like, why do you constantly want more money? And then BLK Prom takes a big loss that was a big contender, a big fish that could possibly do something big in the sport, and and what, you get overpaid for a fight against I don't even know what his name is. You
Yeah.
pass up the name with Blair to Flair like the moment. I
Mm.
guess that fight with Maurice Hooker was scary enough. Like
Yeah.
it's like do something, man. Just give it a move. Like honestly, I'll probably get hit with that same shit. Like
Yeah.
we gotta get out of here. Like
Yeah.
let's get out of here. I thought that he was gonna knock him out in like the third round. Shit changed fast. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, I think things are very interesting. I just hope that people get better. I hope that fighters take chances to be great. You know, I hope that these big fights get made before
It's too late, man. It's
it's too
getting to
late.
the point, bro, where I'm already to the point. I'm talking like they done pissed me off to the point where I don't even know if I'm willing to pay for that fight now. Because
I mean,
I got a very reliable streaming service business, Blair. I can easily stream that fight. Like, don't make me wait for something that I've been waiting for what 4 to 5 years now. Don't keep me waiting, bro. That's all I'm saying.
There's tons of resources that are made available all over. I got a whole country that's ready to go. That's ready to go with way more money than pretty much anybody. And what's the problem with Ugas? What's the problem with Broner? What's the problem with Terrence Crawford? What's the problem with these major fights? What's the problem with Earl Spence? You know, and like honestly, I be feeling like I still have it in my mind where as though like I think that shit possibly I'll end up fighting them before they end up fighting each other. Like they'll probably be old and dusty by the time they fight each other. It'd be so like
yeah, I mean, you at this rate, you might be on to something with that, bro. Because I'm one of them dudes that don't think the fight is ever going to happen. Now, I did get a little excited after I saw Alexis Rocha was fighting that dude that you was just talking about earlier. So I'm like, well, maybe they trying to make the fight behind the scenes. But whenever I heard Steven Espinoza just say what he said, it's like, well, damn, like, come on, like y'all still going over the same shit.
Yeah, I was
at the finish line by now, unless maybe just maybe, because it is a rumor out there, business Blair, that they supposed to announce the fight at the Tank and Ryan fight. Now that makes sense. That'll build up the fight, that'll hype it up a little bit more. But I don't know, man. I just don't trust the PBC. I don't
trust them at all, man. I just don't trust much of anything like that's being said anymore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, smoke and mirrors. Like no, don't introduce like, oh yeah, like we're finally signing the fight at this date. Like, no, you might as well do it now. And then both of you start talking your shit at the fights. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what I think.
Waiting that, like, it's just like more time being waiting. Like you are losing the
people getting fed up, bro.
Yeah, you're losing
on YouTube.
The fans.
I'm not sure if you watch YouTube channels. I'm not sure if you pay attention to social media, you know, like Facebook boxing groups and Twitter groups and things of that nature. But a lot of people are kind of already over that fight, honestly. It's a lot of people that now. It's a lot of people still think that's the biggest fight that can be made, but it's a lot of people like, man, fuck it. If they don't make this shit this year, go to 154. There's some other fights up there. That's where people at with it right now.
54, huh?
Yeah, 154. You know, Earl claim it's hard to make weight. I mean, even though he's the one that made us wait for 4 to 5 years just to clean up this side of the street, now it's harder to make weight. But you should have thought about that shit before you came up with this magnificent fucking plan, you and Al Heyman.
Yeah, like it's like, okay, you can't make weight, make a weight now. Make the goddamn weight. No, it's your weight. It's your weight class. It's your belts, right?
He the king at 147, according to him.
Be a professional. Fight Blair to Flair. How about that? If you can't produce the goddamn fight with Terrence Crawford, I tell you what will sell. Blair to Flair talking the most shit and mess around and okey doke knock your ass out. And then we can finally be done with you bitch asses. All of you. We can be done with all of you. I promise you. We could all be done with your bullshit. I promise. You know what I'm saying? PBC will be still shining as bright as ever. And you know something? it'll be better. Like it'll be, look, if I had, let's just put it like this. If you can imagine, I beat Earl Spence. It doesn't even matter if I took a loss the very next fight. Boxing has finally been back to its true original form.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? The belts are on to young fighters that are willing to fight each other and put on big performances. Unless they're not willing to fight each other, then Blair is gonna have to come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's something about like whenever you on the come up, you know, everybody is hungry, but whenever you win them belts, it's like most of these dudes just switch up. I don't know what it is about getting the belts. Is it the fame, the notoriety, the pound for pound status?
They just
the
want to
social
hold
media stuff. Yeah.
I don't mind even letting shit go. Like, it's just get paid what you're worth. You know what I mean? Hey, if you want to get paid more, you better be worth more. You better be worth more. You know what I'm saying? I think that they could do better when it comes to the fighters. You know what I mean? Like, do better. And then like even the promoters, a lot of times, I hope that they could do a little bit better. You know what I mean? And boxing can be back to where it used to be, because look, man, we got UFC popping off. We got slap matches now.
Yeah, slap matches now. Yeah.
Like, look, you just stand right there, okay? We're gonna somebody's gonna get knocked the fuck out. I promise you.
Yep. I done seen a few crazy ones, bro. You right, bro. Boxing, you know what I mean? Get on this shit.
They got silly motherfuckers just like, you know what? I always like to see a phone booth fight. Now let's actually put these stupid motherfuckers in a phone booth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They got, you know what, man? We're tired of fucking gloves, man. We want to see it back in the old days when people got killed. Yeah. You know what I mean? Let's go back to bare knuckles.
Yeah. I mean, boxing is so bad, bro. I done got back into wrestling. Like I went on a hiatus from watching wrestling for a minute now. I've been watching all the pay-per-views. I'm trying to get back into the, the Monday Night Raws and things of that nature.
Yeah, like
I just watched WrestleMania. That was off the chain the first 2 days, 2 days.
For real? Oh, that
yeah. Did you watch it? You didn't catch it?
I didn't even catch it, man. I need to look at
it.
Yeah,
man. Yeah. Roman Reigns, he retained his title versus Cody Rhodes. It was a close match. But, the bloodline had to come out there and fuck shit up. So he ended up winning. So he on this long streak or whatever. It was pretty dope.
Yeah, man, we just need to see more action. And honestly, like, yo, we need a boxing game. We need a video game.
That's what, bro, you just reminded me. We got one. It's Undisputed. I'm not sure if you heard about it. It's a small company. It's only out on PC right now. I got the game. The game only costs like $30. Have you been approached by them? Because I know Ty Gresham is working with that company.
I think I was approached by somebody. I don't know if it was them. And that was just to get like a royalties thing situated, like people could buy my character and all that stuff. But I never actually like got in the phone in the suit with the everything and
the cameras and stuff.
The
motion cap, because like one thing about that game, you're gonna move and punch just like you punch and move. Like when you play with Terrence Crawford, he feels like Crawford. You play with Canelo, he feel like Canelo. Fury, so on and so forth. It's pretty dope how they did it. Now it's still a lot of work to be done because it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. But I was meaning to ask you, like, would you be willing to be in a video game?
Well, that'd be great, man. You'll have my character doing woos after every major punch. You know what I mean? Sometimes showing off like out of randomness, like you didn't even have to do nothing to the character. The character just started like just doing his own thing.
They got that, like, bro. They got like that to where Roy Jones, like if you standing stationary with Roy Jones, you know how Roy Jones used to fake like he about to punch. He'll put his hands behind his back. Shit, he do that on his own.
He do his own.
See, I stream online. I'm gonna have to hit you up whenever the next time I stream it and let you see me play the game, because I play it like a real boxer.
Oh, that's dope, bro. That's dope.
It'll be dope to see you in there.
We need stuff like that, man. That's something that we definitely need. We definitely need to see stuff like that popping off as much as possible. It's been
13 years since the last boxing game release which was Fight Night Champion by EA Sports. I think that was like 13 years ago or something like that.
Well, I wonder what is it with EA Sports and why they're not like producing Fight Night.
I think it's because they're doing the UFC games now.
But
they make a boatload of money on that. But I'm with you.
But the thing, they're not making as much money as like Fight Night at all.
You don't think so?
No, not by any
stretch. Why they keep coming out
with
that shit though, Blair? Why? What's the point?
I'm starting to feel like it's a racist thing. I'm starting to feel like it's a personal thing because UFC don't sell as much as boxing. You know what I'm saying? And just in track history. And UFC haven't been like the UFC games haven't been doing good at all.
I don't play it.
What
It's too advanced for me.
What sells and like with just like the people, like even the people that talks about it, that talks about the games, like the reviewers, they're not like blown away about the game at all by any stretch of the imagine. So oh yeah, it was Brandon Lee. Brandon Lee was the guy I was talking about. Yeah.
Brandon Lee, okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to Boxing Nerd 101.
Yeah,
and brother from Canada.
Yeah, I got nothing but love for everybody. You know what I mean? Even Brandon Lee, it's just I want to see what happens. I want to see what happens. You know what I mean? No. Fuck the bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Oh yeah, he's got such and such fight. Yeah, he's got a bunch of fucking easy fights. That's 20 fights. Wow, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm looking trying to see if I can find anything else.
Yeah, why we gotta do this at the fucking like world title? Why we have fighters that only do this at the world title though?
Because they don't want. I'm going to assume they don't want to lose their O because they feel like if they lose, then they go back to the back of the line or the bottom of the barrel, and don't nobody want to work their way back up. But my thing is this: that's the beauty of boxing, though. Like some of the greatest fighters that all took L's and then bounced back. That's what made them great. That's one of the reasons why Bernard Hopkins is my favorite fighter of all time, is because he took risk. He lost. He got his ass kicked a couple of times in a row, but then he'll double back and fight another 50-50 fight, and he'll win that fight where everybody would count him out. That's why I like beating. I used to hate Bernard Hopkins, but I started respecting him more as he got older in age, in his 40s, and he's taking on the Kelly Pavlovich, the Jermaine Taylors, and all them motherfuckers like that. And then he moving up to light heavyweight and shit like so. I gained a lot of respect for him. So I don't know why fighters like today think like that, like, oh, one loss is going to ruin my career, when really, that's just the beginning.
Look, I took a loss against a fighter that I know damn well I ain't supposed to lose against. Like Alexis Rocha cannot light a candle to my abilities, my experience, or just me in general. Like even my personality, like overwhelms his very body, his very being. Like, you know what I'm saying? When I walk in the presence of these people, you can feel my presence. It's out there. Like you can almost touch it. And it's about like a good 10 feet radius. You can feel me. You can feel my presence.
Yeah.
You can feel the aura.
Yeah.
Like I lost against Rocha in like a circumstantial loss or whatever. You know what I mean? But it wasn't about the loss. It was about what happened after. No, right after I fight another big fight.
Right.
Where I'm even more of an underdog than the last fight. You know what I'm saying? I wonder if I would have got that opportunity if I had just smacked Rocha up.
You mean against Mo Hooker, Mighty Mo?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question. What do you think?
And my whole thing is this: I was promised Virgil Ortiz after Maurice Hooker.
You told me that. Last time you was on here.
I wonder if I would have got that fight if I just barely scraped by and won against Mo Hooker. And Mo Hooker came to fight. He came in there like everything was like purposely set up for me to be like not just lose, but lose and look stupid. You know what I mean? Like, dude come in overweight, like this boy is fucking gonna knock me 10 times out of the park. Like you got Terrence Crawford saying, oh yeah, he's gonna get knocked out within the first 3 rounds. I promise you.
Yeah,
you know
he was in his corner and everything too.
In his corner and everything. Like
he was giving them instructions. Yeah, I remember that fight yesterday.
So it's very interesting. Like, I wonder what would have happened if I had lost the Hooker fight or just like barely scraped by and just barely won. or even this. How about this? Mo Hooker gets knocked out in the first round out of nowhere, and it probably was luck. then maybe I would probably be like a fight for Virgil.
With
See,
Virgil. So you think
see,
they would have
that's
threw you in there had that happened? Because you almost knocked
probably,
his ass out. You really
probably.
did. You was digging on him.
Yeah, but this motherfucker was in shape like a motherfucker. Like this. I'm like, okay, man, you keep getting up like this.
Hey, you know what
Okay.
it was though? You know what I think it was, in my opinion? He was in his hometown, man. He didn't want to go out like that, bro.
Hell no, man.
He didn't
I'm
want to
like,
get knocked out in his own backyard, bro.
I was sitting here like, man, this is some bullshit. Like,
Hey,
I gotta
you
box
ain't have to
that.
do that boy like that, man, down here, bro. You ain't have to beat his ass in his own backyard.
Bro, I was trying to kill this shit and be over with. And I'm like, this is some bullshit. I ain't even fucking like, I did not expect him to be this good. I'm like, okay. And then after the fight, I'm like, bro, where was all of this shit in the fucking Virgil Ortiz fight?
Yeah.
Where was all of this fight? Where was all of this like fighting instincts, this warrior shit in that other fight? What's the other guy named? Marios or the other guy that he fought.
That he lost to?
Ramirez.
Hold on, let me look him up. Maurice Hooker. I can't remember off the top of my head.
He fought two guys that he lost to.
Hold
it's
on.
something.
He got
Ramirez.
3 losses. He lost to you. He lost to Virgil. And he lost to Jose Ramirez.
Yeah. I'm like, what happened? What happened to those guys? What happened to those? Like, bro, I know what I'm capable of, and I know what kind of Blair to Flair came that day. It was business Blair to Flair.
Yeah.
And that was a different type of Blair. And that first round, you wasn't supposed to make it. And especially in the next round, the round after that, you wasn't supposed to make it if you came in hard on me. You know what I mean? If you was boxing me, I would have drowned you and knocked you out later. But like, he came after my ass early. You know what I'm saying? And he got what he got early. I'm sitting there like, yo, bro. Like, and then he fucking gets up and fucking comes out with all this goddamn warrior shit. I'm like, after the fight, I'm like, bro, this shit, first of all, this shit ain't fair. Where the fuck was all of this goddamn warrior shit? Where was all of this warrior shit, man, when you was fighting Virgil Ortiz? He's like, oh, man, I had a broken hand before the fight. A broken hand? God damn. That's a big circumstance. I'm like, all right, man. Then
he was doing pretty good in that fight, too, but he started exchanging in the pocket for a little too long, and he ended up getting caught. So, yeah.
Yeah, but then also he went down. I look closely. When he goes down, he doesn't go down from a punch. Virgil is actually not that accurate. Honestly, like he throws a lot of power. Yeah, and if he hits hard. But you know, you honestly have to you have to stop moving for him to hit you. You know what I'm saying? And like he threw a punch where they both threw a punch and Hooker goes down. And he doesn't go down from an actual punch. Virgil missed that punch. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna go back and watch that, Blair.
He missed it.
Remember that.
Matter of fact, it was a lot of motions and all that stuff. But Virgil missed that fucking punch. What ends up happening, fucking Hooker is crying about his hand. I'm like, yo,
okay, I see what you're saying.
He goes down from the agony of his hand being broken. Yeah. So I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. I'm like, well, shit, man. Like, I knew that you broke it in the fight, but I didn't know that you broke it before the fight. Yeah, and Golden Boy knew. I'm like, oh damn. So they already
took the fight. Damn.
Yeah, and that was a circumstantial win. So then I was like, okay, well, what happened with the other fight, the Ramirez fight, the Jose Ramirez fight? He's like, oh yeah, I had a bad camp, man. Like I only fucking had like 2 weeks to prepare this and that. I'm like, oh, okay, so that both of those fights were circumstantial fights.
Right.
The fight with me was not a circumstantial fight.
Yeah.
He was in there ready to go. Trained, well prepared, and everything was purposely driven. He came in overweight purposely. Everything was perfect, and I was well against the odds. When Virgil Ortiz fought Brad Solomon had 2 weeks to prepare for the fight. When Brad Solomon fought me, he had 2.5 months to prepare for the fight. The matchmaker tells me this stuff.
Damn.
You know,
what's a dirty game, boy, in boxing?
And what happens to Brad Solomon? He gets stopped in the exact same round. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like with less punches. Yeah, it doesn't look good for Virgil fighting me. Whether or not he's doing whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't look good for him fighting me. But then again, everybody says that he's so special. If he's so special, give him this. Give him this. Right here. And then the thing is, yeah, you saying that he dropped out of the ratings for like a sanctioning body. That sounds like, yeah.
Yeah, the ranking,
That sounds like some
WBO.
witchcraft. That sounds like some witchcraft when he could have just
I mean, that's
gone
how he
ahead
got
and
the fight with Stanionis, bro. That was going to be a WBA eliminator or whatever, and then the winner of that we get a shot at, Earl, or if he were to stay, or whoever win that. I don't know what Earl doing, but yeah,
like why not go straight to the guys? Why not go straight to Earl and Terrence Crawford?
You could have got the belt, and then if you beat Terrence Crawford, you make the fight with Spence next. To me, that makes more sense.
It makes way more sense. But I hope these things happen. You know what I mean? It's been a pleasure being on this podcast, man.
Appreciate it, man.
On YouTube with you guys, man. I love the fact that you put up the NWO No Way Out. You got Blair
I'm a
rocking in the
huge
background.
fan, bro.
You got Go Through Rilla. You know what I mean? It's just dope. Like the whole thing is dope. You know what I mean? The whole setup is dope, and it's just yeah. And I'm just like you guys, the fans that wants to see these things happen.
Right.
Hopefully we can make these things happen. You know what I'm saying? And as far as like everything else, you know what I mean? I'm looking forward to fighting these big fights. Please be patient. It's not of my accord. I don't want to just be sitting here on the shelf waiting for a fight. You know what I mean? But like boxing is so ugly and such a silly sport, whereas though people like to play games that like it's bad. It's bad. It's so bad that like honestly, you really can't trust the ratings. You really can't trust like the rankings.
Yeah. The rankings.
You know what I mean? The rankings.
How is Mario Barrios even ranked in the WBC over you at that? Like, why are you not ranked in the other sanctioning bodies?
Yeah,
I don't even get that.
I don't understand how Alexis Roach is ranked number 1 when like he didn't fight anybody. He didn't fight anybody after me, but I fought somebody after me though.
That's a hell of a point. Hell of a point.
What I mean? Why is he fighting Juice Allen when he really probably should be fighting me?
Yeah, I would much rather see y'all run it back. Because let me ask you this last question of the night.
You can't say it wouldn't sell.
Last question of the night, Blair. How often do you think about that fight, like the loss?
I don't really think about it that much.
You don't?
You know what I mean? Okay. Like I know what I'm capable of. There was a reason why I took that fight on a late notice. I took that fight on a late notice because I know what I'm capable of. I know I can beat him. And because of the situation that was at hand, like I'm just kind of drowned out with finances and everything because of course, I haven't been in a fight. I haven't been fighting for a year. Yeah. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to get any better. You know what I mean? So it ain't no sense in waiting and all that stuff. And then on top of that, somebody's got to save this card. Like this card is about to go to shit. That means not just me, but a lot of other fighters are not going to get paid. The promoters are not going to like have anything for DAZN. I'm trying to save that relationship with DAZN and all these things. Like so.
Yo, Business Blair, I think you dropped off, my brother. But yeah, man, shout out to everybody in the chat. Hopefully he pulled back up, finished saying what we had to say. Shout out to my dog IOTBA, man, for sending me that cash out. Shout out to D-Town Blaster for sending me that cash out, man. I appreciate the support, man. I appreciate it. Let me see. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. I'm going to wait a couple more minutes to see if Blair going to come back on to finish saying what he got to say before I hop off, man. I'd have been on this bitch for 2 hours, man. But let me see. He said Crawford slaughter Spence within 8. Okay, there's your prediction. Shout out to 78 Snacks TV. I appreciate it. What up, expert? I see your boy. What up, IO? Let me see. What up, Ray Hall? He said in control of what picnic gatherings or some shit. You talking? Okay, y'all going back and forth. What up to my nigga Brimley? Let me see. What up? This is Rob. I appreciate it. Let's see. Who haven't I got, man? Y'all going back and forth about Terrence Crawford and Earl. Let me see. What up to my dog, Alex? I see your boy. He said IOTBA, a.k.a. Mr. This EJ City. Yeah, man. What up, Lawrence? He said this guy is great. Yeah, man. Shout out to Business Blair, man. Shout out to Business Blair. We got to get him on that boxing game. I'm gonna reach out to Undisputed, man, on Twitter. See if I can point him in the direction of Blair to Flair so we can get him on the game, man. So I can ding on some motherfuckers with Business Blair. But yeah, man. Shout out to everybody once again. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Shout out to the playback game, man. I'm gonna come on tomorrow, man, and talk about some more shit. Probably a little NBA. Probably some more boxing, NFL, just whatever. We just gonna open the panel and pop our shit tomorrow night, man. But shout out to everybody in this bitch. Until next time, we are gone. Holla.
Yo, what's up? This is B-Hop. I'd like to say what's up, man. E Thriller, the Black Mikasa. What's going on? This is the champ, the Hall of Famer. Respect, the undisputed. Yeah.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
The Black Picasso cleaning up the sport of boxing, speaking facts over the gossip. Haters all up in the comments. I ain't here to be liked, but smash that like and noti button. We don't sugarcoat nothing, just healthy boxing discussions. E Thriller, painting these pictures oh so vivid. Applying Duke, Coach K, that straight full court pressure. Only God could judge me, so tell these chumps ducking smoke. Remember one thing that the boxing guys don't like: ugly. Shut out Big Fish and everybody that joins the panel. For all my new supporters, sub to the channel. Like Floyd say, it's easy work. That bait jab with that left hook send them straight to sleep. Experts, we the experts. We never sugarcoat. Tune in to Black Picasso. Sit back, enjoy the show. Enjoy the show.